Your tour guide for the remainder of the tour, so you're just standing in for me for the first 5 minutes. You guys are standing in the $25,000 tour through. We call this that because everything that you're seeing behind the glass display was valued at $25,000. Now, this was at the time of Mrs. Winchester's death. Everything behind the glass display today is worth 100 times that, putting it in the range of $2.5 million. All of the beautiful artistic stained glass windows and doors that you see behind the display, as well as one suite off the mansion tour, came from the Tiffany Glass Company of New York. This includes the very beautiful arched window that's on the wall directly in front of us in between all the doors and windows. This was designed by Mrs. Winchester personally, and it contains 2 of her favorite spiritualistic designs, the number 13 as well as the spiderweb. If you folks count the blue and amber stones in the window, you will see that there are 13 of them, and as we go throughout the tour, I will be mentioning and pointing out a lot more 13. Now, just to the right of the display, we have brown rolls of material. This is what's known as the encrusted wall covering. It was an early form of texture back in Mrs. Winchester's time. It's made of crushed linseed oil, and it costs $1.75 per slice. This is where Mrs. Winchester would come nightly to communicate with the spirits of those taken by the Winchester rifle. She also designed this room for a few selfish purposes. If you look down those 2 windows in the center windows, you're looking down into one of the 6 kitchens, so you can hear and see everything going on below. Also, you caught the window open on the left. You can hear everything going on the 3rd floor, which happens to be the servants' quarters. Mrs. Winchester was a bit paranoid that her staff would talk badly about her, so all the servants made sure that this did not happen. Now, she was the only person allowed in this room. Iron bars on the windows that would keep people from getting in. She carried the only key to the only entrance to this room, which brings up a fairly interesting point. There is 1 entrance, but there are 3 exits. The first is the door which you guys have all just come through. The second is the door to the right of it with the windows on it. It's kind of being blocked by the other door. You guys look through that. You can see you take an 8-foot fall and 2 feet below to not be very comfortable. The 3rd door is right behind me, concealed behind the closet door, which is hard. When I open this door, you folks will see there's no latches or handles on the inside, so when you go through this door, it is a one-way trip. Now, why Mrs. Winchester felt the need to be the only person allowed in this room, as well as felt the need to have such quick exits out, is a mystery we have yet to figure out. This is going to be the next stop on tour. Whichever person wants to go first, you guys are more than welcome to. You're just going to go in and make a right and click North Conservatory. Awesome. Just want you to head in, make a right, go across the hall into the North Conservatory, and just get a worst wall right if you guys want it. No. I got to shut the door. Is
this the room that she hung her robes in that she used?
I don't know if she had robes. I don't know. I don't think she had. As far as I know, there wasn't a robe room.
But she hung up. She hung in with different. She had different. It's out on something. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Gardening was one of them. It is said that she had over 110 countries represented plant-wise in the outside gardens and inside her 2 conservatories. She built this room special for her gardening hobby. Each one of the wooden panels you guys are standing on is designed to lift up off the floor. When it's lifted up off the floor, it then reveals a sub-metal floor with a planters non-metal corrosive floor where the plants can be set without rusting or eroding the floor or right using metal. As you notice, there's a hot water radiator right here to water the plants with warm water in the cold months. And there's another faucet right here where a hose right behind you where a hose can easily be hooked up and the plants can be watered. The floor in this room is built planted on purpose. So any run-out water from the plant goes into the corners of the room, which then runs into the drains down into the gardens below.